This is the Windows XP machine with the DOS games on it, and its processor is a bit hot, maximum 71 degrees C, and hovering around 68 to 71 degrees under load, and the fan's spinning up quite a lot. So I think we will need to reapply thermal paste to this and then see if that improves the situation. This should be a relatively straightforward process of removing the heatsink, removing the old thermal paste, and then reapplying new thermal paste. This looks like a relatively straightforward system, although oh yeah, should be possible to just unclip these and then pull the heatsink off. Oh! Yeah, it pulled the processor out. Is it glued on? Yeah, thermal paste is just, it's not thermal paste, it's like a glue. So what you do in this situation, who knows? Will that come off? Will reapplying thermal paste actually help, or is this just like a terrible heatsink? Ah dear, I could just clean it, I suppose. Oh yeah, I think that is going to be a better option. Grab a screwdriver. It is pretty clogged up with dust. Try not to drop it because the processor's stuck to the bottom. Well, they are long screws. JMC. And that's where all the dust is. And we should, I'd guess, see an improvement in thermal performance of this heatsink. Now, just blow this away. Uh-oh. How do they come off? How do they go back on now? Oh look, they sort of slot into these things. Oh, take them off. Get rid of the dust. These fins are a bit dusty. They're also a bit wobbly, aren't they? Right, let's try and put this back together. So this goes there, and then this goes on top, I think. It's like Lego, but not as easy to use. Now I have to find all 4 screws to see where they ended up. How are you supposed to put a processor in when you can't lift this up? Magnetic screwdriver to the rescue. So one more screw to find. Let's have a look. These pins are not bent, which is good. Final screw is there, and I've just dropped it again. Suppose another option would be to have not pulled this out and to just start cleaning that without removing it. So let's see if we can remove this from here. Oh, we can. What is that? We are going to get to do fresh thermal paste after all. Hooray! And we're going to be able to put the processor in properly. So I'm going to do a better job of that. This is what I would call an example of how not to do it. Using a screwdriver to clean thermal paste off, it's not the best idea. This has left this all scratched up. I mean, it's only a Celeron processor, so it's not really worth anything much at all, but using a plastic scraper would be a better way of removing thermal paste. So let's put this in, apply the thermal paste, and give it a go. If it's not going in easily, then it's possible that you've got some bent pins, and then it's worth checking. Here's one on the corner, which have now straightened. Focus on the CPU. Take your pins, don't force it in. Should go in smoothly like that. Lock it down, get your thermal paste. We're using Arctic MX2 because this was a reasonable price and it's a big tube. let's try a test fit of the heatsink. You want to see even spread. Relatively happy with that. Add a little bit more where there's any gaps, if you want. I mean, it's best to do it properly, isn't it? Because then you're doing it once rather than having to redo it at a later date. This clip system is weird. That done. That side clipped in. That side's clipped in. And just power it up. Oh yeah, that's another thing you need to do. Plug in the fan cable, which is awkwardly way down there. Just move this memory out of the way. Finian makes it much easier to connect. Right, and what we're going to do, we're going to go into the BIOS when we switch it on, just to make sure the temperature is acceptable. So that's the quickest way for us to get the actual temperature. Rather than wait to boot into Windows. Dropping things is one of my favourite hobbies. Okay, power on. Packard Bell, what do I need to press? F2. Okay. 2.8 gigahertz. Celeron D. Hardware monitor. We have CPU temperature 53, 49, 50. So that's reasonable. CPU fan fail alarm, let's just switch that on. And 53 is fine. So let's save and boot into Windows and have a look at the temperature we get when the processor is under load. We are now using CPU Z to stress the CPU. That has put processor usage at 100%, and we're using CPU ID hardware monitor to monitor the CPU temperature, which is this TMP-IN1, and it was at 50 degrees C. It's gone up to 58, 59, we're just going to continue monitoring this to see how it performs now that we have new thermal paste applied, and we've also cleaned the heatsink of dust. I'll leave this running for who knows how long, but I'll just leave it running, see what happens, and then show you the results in a bit. It's been about 20 minutes, over 20 minutes. The temperature highest is 68, hovering around 63. It's an improvement. It was 72-ish before, but I think this heatsink's just, you know, a fairly average heatsink. One thing I have noticed is that the CPU fan hasn't been spinning up as much, as in it hasn't been increasing in speed as much as it did before we cleaned the heatsink. So overall, minor success, and it should keep the system running for a bit longer.